Top stories tonight. Reactions trail the abduction of 280 pupils in Kaduna State as Governor Sani promises to rescue all alive. 16 killed in fresh attack on Wonder community. President Bola Tinubu gives assurances on women empowerment as International Women's Day is celebrated. Senegalese citizens divided over March 24th election date. Our coverage tonight begins on a sad note as the worrying state of insecurity in the country is again staring citizens in the face. Reactions have continued to trail the latest abduction of citizens by armed groups in the country. This time, Nigeria's Minister of Education, Tahir Maman, has appealed to security agencies and to the Kaduna State government to help rescue the recently abducted pupils and teachers of the government secondary school, Kuriga, and also the primary school located within the same community. The official, while briefing newsmen in Abuja, says that the incident, which occurred at the Chukun local government area of Kaduna State, has become a source of worry, but pledged his readiness to collaborate with relevant authorities to ensure that they are rescued unhurt. Reports say the bandits had invaded the school in the early hours of Thursday, March the 7th, abducting over 280 pupils, including teachers from the schools.
Very sad. It's a very sad day for the country. And we appeal to the security agencies to do everything possible, including the government of Kaduna State, to do everything possible to rescue and bring back these young ones and their teachers unharmed, and all of them. We also want to say that we will be working with the security agencies to ensure that we will bring to end this type of thing under the Safe Schools project of the federal government.
Let's also tell you that family members of some abducted children on Thursday gathered at Kuriga, Kaduna, doing a visit to Governor Sani after gunmen kidnapped more than 200 pupils. Gunmen reportedly kidnapped 280 pupils during a raid in a school in one of the country's largest mass abductions. Local authorities in Kaduna State confirmed the kidnapping attack in the area on Thursday, but gave no figures, saying they were still working out how many children had been abducted. Local residents say at least one person was shot dead during the attack. Thursday's kidnapping also comes almost 10 years after the Boko Haram triggered international outcry by kidnapping more than 250 schoolgirls in Chibok. In the meantime, Kaduna State Governor Sani has assured that no child will be left behind. He said he had notified President Bola Tinubu and the National Security Advisor, Noor Badu, about the incident before traveling to the scene of the attack. Amnesty International has also condemned the abductions in Kaduna.
And we have also sat down with the parents of those children that have been kidnapped. Even we have sent a strong message to the mothers, and we made it clear to them that one of the most important objectives of the government is to ensure that we protect the lives and properties of our citizens, and we ensure that by the grace of God, every child return home by the grace of God. We are working with the security agencies. Just an hour ago, I discussed with the National Security Advisor. He has assured me they are also working, and I've also spoke with the GOC Women Mechanized Division. He has also assured me they are also trying. Here we are with the Commissioner of Police and the Director of SSS, and all of them are working closely with the Connected Government under my leadership. No child will be left behind. All of them will come back by the grace of Inshallah.
We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we have more stories. Stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Before we went on that break, we told you that the Kaduna State Governor Obasani has assured that no child will be left behind. He said that he has notified President Bola Tinubu and the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu about the incident before traveling to the scene of the attack, of which Amnesty International has also condemned the abductions of the school children in Kaduna. Well, to discuss this further, I am joined by security expert and political scientist Matthew Ibadan. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Now, what do you make of the latest kidnap of more than 200 pupils in Kaduna in one of the country's largest mass abductions?
I think first of all, I want to say it's highly condemnable, first of all, and the children are innocent, but I believe the evil will not take over this country. But however, I think we need to redefine our security architecture. As I have said several times, we cannot continue to have single-digit security architecture. It's not going to work. And this is the greatest problem the country is confronting. My advice is this: we need to, as a matter of urgency, establish state police. We must remove policing from the exclusive list and take it to concurrent list and residual list. We need to hold state accountable for policing and local government, not federal government. The policing system cannot belong to federal government. Federal government cannot own the police. Police is supposed to be for the people. Therefore, we need to decentralize this present single-digit security architecture. That is the only way out. If not, we are going to be having these kind of challenges. We are going to be having reactive, and we are going to be having instead of proactive.
I mean, yesterday's incident comes almost 10 years after the 276 schoolgirls were abducted in Chibok, Borno State, out of which 90 remain in captivity. Now, do you see this present abduction going the same way? And you also talked about state police. Can you elaborate how that would help improve the security architecture across states, particularly states as vast as Kaduna State?
You see, as I said earlier, crime is local. Crime is local. That is the truth of the matter. The truth is, the state governor must take ownership of the security in their domain. But this cannot be done without registration. The National Assembly must expunge that security framework from the exclusive list. This is the only way to go. Because you don't expect the IGP in Abuja to go and solve security challenges in Kaduna. That is not his function. As far as the security situation is faulty from the beginning, we're going to be having these challenges is going to continue. In fact, this is the beginning of the challenges. For me, Nigeria, we have not learned lessons over the years, for the past 10 years, for example. The truth is, I sympathize with this government. They are not the creation of this insecurity, neither the previous one, neither even Jonathan or Obasanjo. It has been there time immemorial. The truth is, the present police we have need to undergo training to a contemporary way of how policing is done. That is just the truth of the matter. We cannot continue to micromanage the security architecture the way we have done it 20 years ago. It's not going to work. So first of all, what we need to do as a matter of urgency is training for the present Nigeria police. Secondly, people with capability in terms of capability in terms of cyber security, private investigator, people who have been certified, who have certification on security, who have gone to school to study security in universities.
All right.
Who have gone abroad, they need to come in, because police cannot begin to use what they have 20 years ago to. This is a contemporary security we're talking about. So we need to, as a matter of fact, allow state government to invest in security. If they cannot afford it, they should merge them together. If, for example, Lagos State have the capability to do security, and Ogun State don't have the capability. It should merge. Instead of having more states without being viable, they cannot make security is not cheap anywhere in the world.
All right, yeah. Marty Ubadin, thank you so much for your time, security expert and political scientist. Once again, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
All right, now staying on security matters, in Benue State, at least 16 persons have been reportedly killed in a fresh attack by armed invaders on Wando community of Mbakyo and Mbalum district in Goa East local government area. According to villagers, the attack happened on Thursday night and that 16 corpses had been recovered so far, while many residents were still missing. The villagers said as of Friday morning, bereaved youths of the affected communities took custody of the bodies while awaiting security intervention. They also said that 11 settlements were set ablaze by the armed invaders. Let's now tell you that the 2023 presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has decried the state of insecurity and condemned the killings in Benue, as well as the abductions in Kaduna and Borno states. Bandits kidnapped more than 280 pupils and teachers from the government secondary school in the Lia Primary School and Kuriga, Kaduna State last Thursday. This incident happened just a day after insurgents abducted 200 internally displaced women in Borno State. Atiku, in a statement on Friday, lamented the problem of insecurity in the country as worsening day by day, describing it as a clear manifestation of governance failure. You're watching Tonight. Coming up, President Bola Tinubu gives assurances on women empowerment as International Women's Day is celebrated. We have details of this and more after now. If you have just joined us, you're watching Tonight. A reminder of our top stories. Reactions trail the abduction of 280 pupils in Kaduna State as Governor Sani promises to rescue all alive. 16 killed in fresh attack on Wando community. President Bola Tinubu gives assurances on women empowerment as International Women's Day celebrated. Senegalese citizens divided over March 24th election date. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has assured women in the country of government's commitment to improving their livelihoods. This was during the launch of the Nations for Women program in Abuja, where President Tinubu, who was represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, says that the government will do all it can to protect Nigerian women and prevent them from abuse. News Central's Amadine Uyi tells us more. As Nigerian women join their counterparts around the world to celebrate this year's International Women's Day, one area to lay emphasis on is in business, especially micro, small, and medium-scale enterprises. While the contribution of Nigerian women in the business space cannot be overemphasized, the challenges they face have to be addressed. Now, News Central's Bernard Akede was at a gathering where 250 businesswomen were empowered with trainings to help them boost their businesses. His report.
This year's International Women's Day celebration is a move away from the norm. This time around, it was not just only making demands for women, but also an opportunity for stock-taking and sober reflection.
If you look at our country today, Nigeria, I can only say it's almost falling apart. Why? Because we are lacking home training. Our mothers have left their responsibilities to other engagement. So they should touch off their belt, come closer to their children, and put them at the right perspective.
Society today, it's not like before. Before, you see a mother. When you just look around, in a second, you don't see your child. You now look for your child, where is he? But now, nothing like that. Women will not see their children more than 1 hour, 2 hours. They won't ask. And by the time those children come back home, you will not ask. As a girl, particularly, where did you go?
International human rights group Amnesty International visited the Gariki village community to educate women on their rights and the effects of non-inclusion of women in governance on the society.
Not including women is more like they are also muting their voices, because we feel that the fundamental base of human rights for everybody to know to belong and also be part of the system and also be able to express their opinions. Not including this particular aspect of women is also not saying that, oh, we are part of inclusion.
In a related development, another group visited the Dawaki market, advocating for soft loans for women so that they can invest and contribute their own quota to national development.
Most of us go to school now just to have ideas to do 1 or 2 things to help the society. But because we don't have the capital or the means to be able to help in the society, so we're celebrating it today. We are trying to pass a message to the government that they should please try and empower the women child.
No women want to be at home. Many women want to make their own money. But the capital is the barrier. So government should look into it. They should come through, even if it is a very cheap loan, that the interest rate will be very, very light. There are so many things government can do for us.
The theme for the 2024 Women's Day is inclusivity. But beyond that, women are saying it is time to rid the society of ruts caused by improper home training and ineffective parenting. In Abuja for News Central, Marvelous Oboman.
The Lagos State chapter of the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria says there is a need to empower members for equality of opportunities within the male-dominated profession. This is coming on the sidelines of the International Women's Day commemorated on March 8th every year. News Central's Bettina Mweli has more.
International Women's Day is a day of celebrating the achievements of women, now practiced for more than 100 years. But it is also a reminder of how women can forge a better world. Against this backdrop, this set of new leadership are elected to take professional women engineers in Lagos State to the next level.
Our goal is to do our activities, play our roles in our offices, in our career, to impact the next generation and prove a point that we can also do the right thing.
Time to give them kudos because when we were in school, we thought that it's only men that you find in engineering courses. But this initiative that they just developed about 41 ago is commendable, and I want to appreciate them and also congratulate them.
As the saying goes, that what a man can do, a woman can do better. The new leadership pledged to be the voice for all female engineers in the state by setting the pace for others to follow in engineering development.
The future belongs to female, so we can't neglect our girls. Today is International Women's Day, and the theme of our today's program is even empowering our women through economic inclusion for equitable future. How do we give them that equitable future, that the future also belongs to them? It is true by empowering their minds.
I've thought in mind of being an engineer, but with some negative talks or side talks. But with the help of these engineers, I'm really relieved that despite my situation or my family background, I can become one and achieve one.
They have empowered girls. They have given these girls opportunity. Those girls that think they cannot become anything in future, they came to our school and told us many things and they empowered us. So I want to say a very big thank you.
As the world marks International Women's Day 2024, the global spotlight intensifies the strides made in the ongoing pursuit of gender equality. In Lagos, for News Central, Bettina Mweli.
The World Health Organization's Regional Director for Africa, Dr. Moshedisa Moeti, has emphasized the importance of gender equality women's empowerment, and the right to healthier lives. Reflecting on this year's theme, Invest in Women, Accelerate Progress, he highlighted that the WHO has collaborated with regional partners and civil society stakeholders to address barriers impacting gender equality in healthcare access. These initiatives focus on overcoming socioeconomic, systemic, and political barriers hindering gender equality in healthcare. These efforts have led to significant improvements in the health and well-being of women and girls across the region, with life expectancy of women increasing from 54 to 67 years between the year 2000 and 2020. Maternal mortality ratio decreasing by 33%, and proportion of women satisfied with modern family planning methods increasing from 47% to 56.5% in 2020. To discuss this, we are joined by Dr. Chioma Nwakaman Akano, also known as Dr. Zobo, representative health physician and founder Smile With Me Foundation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
All right, now, from your medical, expertise, what are the key challenges that still need to be addressed to achieve universal access to sexual and reproductive health services?
Okay, thank you very much. I'll quickly group them into three. I would say the people, the government, and society as a whole. As per the people, one of the major challenges to scale this barrier would be education and empowerment. A lot of people are not educated and sensitized about their health and their rights. Then the government has a huge role to play in ensuring that the social determinants of health are available. And just as Dr. Moiti said today, the WHO Regional Director for Africa, he highlighted that priority funding is low. So one of the key challenges that we face is funding. So priority funding should be channeled towards healthcare, especially women's healthcare, sexual and reproductive healthcare. Then we have society, social, cultural, and religious biases in our society, which I believe pose the bulk of the challenge when it comes to carrying out our performances, our services, both as healthcare professionals and the health-seeking behavior of Nigerians and Africans generally.
Now, some women are not even aware of these rights and services available to them. Can you mention some of these rights and services?
Okay, good thing you mentioned. I think earlier today I shared some rights, and these are not, this list is not exhaustive, but I'll just share off the top of my head about 7 of them. And these rights are both from the Patient's Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and also cutting across the Hippocratic Oath. The very first thing is that every woman has a right to chaperone, but everyone, including women, have a right to chaperone during a clinical examination. And if you are not given one, you should demand for one. And secondly, I think this still baffles people. However, women need to know that they have the right to sign their consent forms for any medical procedure, as long as the doctors have determined you conscious and alert, able to make those decisions, you can sign it. And if you decide to delegate, that is totally up to you. It's your choice. Then thirdly, you have the right to question your management plan. This is actually number 1 in Patient Bill of Rights. And also professional second opinion. You have the right to seek a professional second opinion if you are not satisfied with the first opinion of your healthcare professional. And women also have the right to pain relief for painful procedures. And sixthly, we have the right to wash facilities. That's water and hygiene facilities in our schools and workplaces. And finally, women have the right to paid maternity leaves. This is also under the Nigerian Labour Act in our constitution. So off the top of my head, these are rights that women should be educated on and armed with when seeking and while seeking health care.
All right, my final question, but I'd appreciate if you can respond in 30 seconds. In what context of the International Women's Day can the medical community further contribute to advancing gender equality and also women empowerment, particularly in healthcare?
Firstly, every medical professional should familiarize themselves with the Patient Bill of Rights and uphold the Patient Bill of Rights. It's not about your mood or what you feel or how tired you are. Then secondly, educate yourselves. And also, I think availability of data across medical personnel and different facilities will be really helpful. And generally, stakeholder collaboration within the healthcare system is something that we should uphold. Yeah.
All right, Dr. Chioma Owakaman Akano, also known as Dr. Zobo, a reproductive health physician and also founder, Smile With Me Foundation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now, the Nigerian Exchange, also known as the NGX, championed gender equality on International Women's Day 2024 with the Bell for Gender Equality ceremony. Highlighting the crucial role of women in business and society, the NGX invited prominent women across various sectors of the Nigerian economy to share their moment. Now, News Central's business correspondent, Perpetual Fasumi Peter, was there and has this to say.
The Nigerian Exchange rang the bell for gender equality held on Friday, March 8th, in commemoration of International Women's Day.
The purpose of this event today is to raise awareness about the importance of investing in women, about inspiring inclusive leadership, and educating and advocating gender-responsive policies.
The speakers, who are leaders in their respective industries, emphasized the need to create an inclusive, equitable, and empowering environment for women in the workplace.
It will take 131 years to reach full parity. It is clear then that we must speed up actions now to achieve gender parity.
Not only should companies have fair maternity leave policies, but they also need appraisal and promotion policies that specifically provide for performance evaluations and promotion decisions to be prorated during the maternity leave year. Now, what this means is that if I'm on maternity leave for 4 months, then I should be appraised on the target set and the work I do during the 8 months that I'm at work.
And for CIS, yes, we're asking for a minimum representation of 35% in the council. And then amongst the principal officers, at any given point in time, there should be at least a female representing at the principal office of the council.
It just shows the leap that we have made in our industry, that the arts is recognized for us to be in this space where we can ring the bell as well. Our contribution to Nigeria and Nigeria's growth and its deep GDP is clear to everyone to see. So being here is not accidental or a privilege. It is a right for us to be here.
The highlight of the event was a closing gong ceremony where prominent women, including Bolanle Austin Peters, had the honor of ringing the bell in a symbolic gesture for gender equality. By inviting prominent women across various sectors to sound the closing bell, the NGX did not just celebrate their achievements, but also emphasized the need for increased investment in women as a driving force for progress in the Nigerian economy. In Lagos, for News Central, Perpetua Fasumi Peter.
In the meantime, around Senegal's capital, Dakar, newspaper headlines are dominated by the Constitutional Council's decision to hold the delayed presidential polls on March 24th. The date, which comes during the observance of the Ramadan, has become a major concern for some citizens.
Non, mais ce qui va plonger le pays dans l'incertitude, mais ce sont ces élections qu'on a fixées le 24. C'est ça, parce que les résultats qui vont sortir ne seront pas acceptés par tous les camps. Parce qu'un processus doit être organisé. Nous avons été des mandataires dans les bureaux de vote. Nous avons également siégé dans les bureaux. Donc, nous savons comment le processus électoral se passe ici au Sénégal. Mais ce processus-là, à 12 jours, même il y en a même des candidats qui ne sont pas prêts à avoir des représentants dans les bureaux de vote. Peut-être...
Let's now join our business desk for today's business news.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
Talking business tonight, in February 2024, the Central Bank of Nigeria revealed a substantial rise in overseas remittances to $1.3 billion compared to $300 million in the prior month. This surge was attributed to increased remittance payments from Nigerians abroad and heightened purchases of Naira assets by foreign portfolio investors. Foreign investors acquired over $1 billion of Nigerian assets in the same month, contributing to a total portfolio flow of at least $2.3 billion for early 2024, compared to the $3.9 billion recorded for the entire 2023. The surge in foreign exchange inflows continued in March 2024, linked to recent adjustments in benchmark interest rates that amplified investor interest in short-term sovereign debt. Now, U.S. firms are being urged to reconsider their position on Zimbabwe following the implementation of a new sanctions program targeting 3 entities and the country's top leaders, including President Emmerson Mnangagwa. David Gaynor from the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of African Affairs noted that this presents an opportunity for businesses to reassess their risk models and explore the Zimbabwean market. The U.S. policy on Zimbabwe remains unchanged, with a shift in the sanctions tools used. Mnangagwa demanded the total removal of sanctions, labeling them as unlawful. Additionally, the U.S. announced a pause in its involvement in talks on the restructuring of Zimbabwe's $18 billion debt due to a perceived lack of progress in democratic processes, although Finance Minister Mthuli Nkubi stated that talks would continue despite the U.S. exit. The Kenya Revenue Authority experienced a 16.53% decline in revenue collections from real estate and private company share transactions in the first half of the current financial year, amounting to 9.16 billion Kenyan shillings compared to 10.98 billion Kenyan shillings in the same period the previous year. Despite tripling the capital gains tax rate to 15%, the decline was attributed to developers holding onto property in anticipation of higher prices, impacting tax revenues. The depreciation of the shilling led to double-digit forex gains for developers and landowners selling property in the US dollars. And that's all on business stories. To stay with us, the news will continue in a bit. I am Lekon Onobanjo.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
And our attention to sports with Udoka Njoko.
Sports update brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
In the world of sports, Nigeria picked up 2 silver medals in the team event of table tennis at the African Games 2023 in Accra, Ghana on Friday. In the final of the team event, both the men and women's teams lost to their Egyptian counterparts. In the men's category, Egypt won 3-love, while also for the women, Egypt won that one 3-love. Team Nigeria consequently ended its participation in the table tennis event with 3 silver and 1 bronze medal. Earlier, we saw in the men's singles finals where Quadri Aruna lost to rival Omar Assar of Egypt 4-3, while in the women's category, Young Edem clinched bronze after also losing to her Egyptian opponents in the semifinals. The 13th African Games in Accra, Ghana officially began on Friday with the opening ceremony holding in Accra. Now, the Basketball Africa League today announced the 47 players from 10 countries across Africa, Europe, and the United States who will compete in the inaugural Kalahari Conference Group Phase from March 9th to 17th at the Sunbet Arena in Pretoria, South Africa. According to the organizers, the games will reach fans in 214 countries and territories in 17 languages. Now, the 4th BAL season will feature the top 12 club teams from 12 African countries playing a record 48 games in Pretoria, Cairo, Egypt, Dakar, Senegal, and Kigali, Rwanda, marking the first BAL games in South Africa and the first time the league will play games in 4 different countries. And moving straight to the English Premier League, Mikel Arteta has been named as Barclays Premier League Manager of the month of February. The Premier League announced Arteta as the winner on Friday. Arteta has now landed the award for a 7th time. The Spaniard topped a 3-man shortlist that also included Manchester City's Pep Guardiola and Manchester United's Erik ten Hag. He wins February's award after votes from the public were combined with those of a panel of experts. Meanwhile, Manchester United striker Rasmus Højlund and midfielder Kobbie Mainoo won the Premier League February Player and Goal of the Month awards. In the world of car racing, Red Bull's Max Verstappen was in imperious form as he took pole position at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Verstappen did not need a second lap in final qualifying as he beat Ferrari's Charles Leclerc by 0.319 seconds. 18-year-old Oliver Behrman, making his debut for Ferrari as the youngest British driver in Formula One history, was a creditable 11th position, 0.53 seconds off Leclerc in the second session. Behrman was promoted to the sport after Carlos Sainz was ruled out with appendicitis. Mercedes' John Russell and Lewis Hamilton were 7th and 8th. Leclerc said there was nothing left in the car after jumping from 4th to 2nd with his final lap, underlining the level of superiority enjoyed by Verstappen. The 3-time champion was 0.335 seconds quicker than Sergio Perez on their first runs in the top 10 shootout, and when the Mexican failed to improve and Leclerc also failed to approach his time, Verstappen bailed out on his final lap. And that's a wrap on Sport Update on the news. Of course, I am Udoka and Joko. Up next is entertainment with Jadel Simon.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile. Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
Amidst the excitement arising from our star's recent collaboration with Aya, the Nigerian Afrobeat star has just pushed the excitement further. Engaging with a curious fan on X, our star responded to inquiries about her upcoming album with a teaser saying in 2 months, confirming that her highly anticipated new album is set to hit the shelves in 2024. Music lovers surely cannot wait for this. Before we move on from this update, have you ever imagined what our star would do if she is president for a day? Let's look at this.
President Obama put Rush on his playlist, but if you were president for a day, what laws would you enact?
If I was president for a day, I will make sure women don't have to pay for anything. No woman has to pay for anything. Everything free, all the bags, all the jewelry, food, women and children who have to pay for anything.
Away from the continent, but still in the world of music, Beyonce and Jay-Z once again reign supreme. Their combined net worth soaring to an astounding $3 billion and $40 million. Jay-Z, renowned as the wealthiest rapper worldwide and the inaugural hip-hop billionaire, commands a personal fortune of $2 billion and $500 million. In tandem, Beyonce contributes significantly with her own $500 million wealth, amassed through her illustrious music career, flourishing fashion brand, and captivating live performances. Now, their indomitable influence and formidable wealth firmly establish them as the epitome of power couples, continually capturing headlines and hearts across the entertainment industry. Those who know them say they work really hard. That's all on entertainment tonight. When I'm back, I'll bring you the news on what's trending tonight.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
Thank you for staying with us. Now, moving away from entertainment stories, Trending today across social media platforms is the hashtag Fulani, and it's not for reasons anyone would celebrate. This trending topic has surged to prominence on X, fueled by security concerns that have plagued the nation for years. The most recent incident has worsened the situation. Over 280 children were abducted from their school, adding to the grim statistics of the victims of terror. The heinous act has struck a deep chord with the populace, amplifying their cries for urgent action and effective measures to stem the tide of insecurity sweeping across the country. Let us take some reactions to this. It seems we don't have those reactions. I hope the next time when we come, we'll be able to... Okay, all right, we have the reactions now. 280 students were kidnapped in Kuriga and Kaduna states, while more than 100 Nigerians were being butchered in Benue, Plateau and Taraba, Kaduna and in Borno. The police were busy fighting tomato war on Twitter. The Nigerian police are the most useless security outfits in the world. Which sovereign country would have terrorists kidnap over 280 children from school, and the Senate president is heard saying that the security situation in the country has improved? How is that even possible that 287 children and their teachers were taken away in a country with the Nigerian army, Nigerian police, and the so-called official DSSNG, and terrorists are able to take away that number of children? How are all these institutions still in existence? They're known for intimidating citizens and showing off force within the country against armless people, but are powerless against real terrorists. Well, that's all for tonight on What's Trending, but you can join the conversation and share your thoughts across our social media platforms. We are at News Central TV. I am Jadel Simon.
And that's a wrap on the news tonight. But before we go, another look at our top stories. We told you that reactions trailed the abduction of 280 pupils in Kaduna State as Governor Sani promises to rescue all alive. 16 killed in fresh attack on Wando community. President Bola Tinubu gives assurances on women empowerment as International Women's Day is celebrated. We also told you that Senegalese citizens divided over March 24th election date. Don't forget to send in your eyewitness report to the WhatsApp number on the screen. You can also follow us on social media. We are at News Central TV. You can watch us live across these platforms: DSTV channel 422, StarTimes channel 274, Avo TV, and YouTube. Many thanks for watching. I'm Dapo Adegboye. Good night.